Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the fight announcement you have all been waiting for, and I usually have to sell my fights. I usually have to do all of the work, but this time, Dana White, Conor McGregor's dad, is promoting the fight for me. Thank you.
Anderson Silva. We honestly need to start talking again about this guy as the GOAT. Not Tito, because he knocked Tito out in 40 fucking seconds, but you know what? He did to Tito exactly what should be done to Tito. Knocking Tito out in 40 seconds is what should have happened in that fight. Anderson Silva beat Chavez Jr. at 40 what? 44, 45 now?
46.
46? 40 fucking 6 years old. He now left this sport, which he was, considered one of the greatest of all time, possibly even the greatest of all time. Goes out, beats Chavez Jr. in a boxing match, and knocks Tito out in 40 seconds. Anderson Silva might actually be the GOAT of combat sports. I mean, to still compete, it'll be interesting to see what he does next. I fucking guarantee you this. You ain't gonna see Jake Paul calling Anderson Silva out. That I fucking promise you. He's his size, and he's actually good.
The kid out?
Hey, Jake. Anderson's out. Jake? Jake? Jake?
Dana? Guess who? Now, I normally don't agree with Dana White, but he is right. Anderson Silva is literally the greatest MMA fighter of all time and one of the most versatile fighters in the history of combat sports. He literally just schooled the world champion boxer in Julio Captain Crunch Caesar Jr. III.
Anderson Silva has been on a KO streak, knocking out Tito Ortiz, Bruno Machado. I mean, this guy is nasty in the ring. And for me, this fight was supposed to be after Tommy Fury because I've never fought a southpaw, and this is a much tougher fight. Every fight critic said that I wouldn't take this fight, and if I did, I would lose to Silva.
Anderson Silva also come from that MMA side, but always had boxing in his
He's a
blood.
striker
But
first.
you also need,
He's a striker
but you
first.
also need to keep it like a balancing act here, whether you're playing. I think Anderson is too good. I don't think there would be a surprise element to that promotion. I think Chavez Jr. is a better name for it. Who Anderson just beat in boxing. Who is tough though.
But it's time to dive into the deep end, put it all on the line, and give the people what they want. Joe Rogan, Dana White, and many of the other MMA experts have named Anderson Silva the greatest MMA fighter of all time. Anderson holds the UFC record for the longest title reign in the history of the sport, 2,457 days. And he holds the record for the most UFC victories in a row, which is 16. Most knockouts in UFC title fights, most finishes in UFC title fights, most knockouts by division, most knockdowns in career title belts, most significant strikes landed. This guy's accolades are fucking crazy. It's an absolute honor to be sharing the ring with such a legend like Anderson Silva, but only one of us can walk out as a winner, and I believe it's gonna be me. Saturday, October 29th, live on Showtime pay-per-view, Phoenix, Arizona. Be there.
If he's really fighting Anderson Silva, if that's true, it's about time. Yeah, he's got a real fight in his hands there. Regardless of how old Anderson is, that's a real fight.